When we hear medieval outlaw, maybe we think of simple criminals, right? Thieves in the woods.
Yeah, but the actual medieval term was, well, it was something else entirely. Being an outlaw meant you were literally outside the law.
Outside the law. So, like, no rights at all.
Exactly. Completely stripped of legal protection. The sources are clear on this. Anyone, and I mean anyone, could kill you. No penalty.
Wow. So it wasn't just being banished, it was a death sentence waiting to happen.
Pretty much, yeah. Often with a bounty on your head.
Yeah.
Just waiting for someone bold enough.
Right. So this deep dive, it isn't really about petty crime. We're looking at the sources for these figures, rebels, maybe pirates, even scholars.
And how they often weren't just born bad. They were, often created by the system itself, forced into that position by maybe unjust laws or corrupt officials.
That idea that the system creates the outlaw. Robin Hood seems like a classic example, doesn't he?
He really does. Though the Robin Hood we know today, this sort of dashing hero, is quite different from the figure in the early ballads. Well, the older sources describe a much more brutal figure. A yeoman, certainly, but violent. Ruthless sometimes. The character definitely softened over time.
And the context for that original brutality. You mentioned unjust laws.
Oh, absolutely. England's forest laws were incredibly harsh. The sources paint a picture where huge tracts of land, the royal forests, weren't just parks. They were instruments of control.
Control? How?
Think about it. It could be a capital offense death penalty for a peasant just to poach a deer, even if his family was starving.
Just for trying to eat.
Exactly. It wasn't necessarily about high ideals at first. It was about survival. When the law says, we execute you for trying not to starve, well,
people flee. They become outlaws because they have no other choice.
thousands did. Rightly or wrongly accused, they ended up in the woods, living outside that system. The authorities weren't just hunting criminals. In many cases, they were hunting the desperate, the hungry.
Okay, so that's the outlaw created by desperation. Let's shift focus a bit. What about those who defied the state itself on a bigger scale? William Wallace comes to mind.
Wallace is a key figure in the sources here. He takes the outlaw concept from, say, local necessity to outright political and military defiance.
His victory at Stirling Bridge, for example, that wasn't just a battle, was it?
No, it was a masterclass in strategy, using the terrain, that narrow bridge, to completely negate the English advantage in numbers and heavy cavalry. It was a profound humiliation for the English crown. Real military genius at play.
And then there's his end. The execution was famously gruesome, drawn and quartered, parts displayed. That was meant as a warning, right?
Absolutely. Pure terror tactic.